Hey guys, my name's Tristan Dodson from your 122 class. That is an example of what some people would call free will, but really I believe that's deterministic because I only pushed him out of the way to get into the spotlight in which I need to make this presentation. So this presentation is only happening because I've been told to do it, because I have to get the grade, because the grades are required for me to move on in life. And I'd say that that makes sense to me, and that life is really just all cause and effect. But I do agree with some of the sides that agree with free will and do believe in free will, even though I do believe people who 100% go along their entire lives thinking free will is great and they can do whatever they want. Really, honestly, that's not true, because that goes back to the myth of meritocracy, in which if we just work for everything as hard as possible, then we'll get it, which really that doesn't happen all the time for people. Like, you see people homeless, you see people who die trying to do what they want to do their entire lives, and that's not what they wanted. That wasn't the outcome that they thought was going to happen. So I found a middle ground, basically, and these people from the School of Life who wrote something called the Book of Life, which was one of the sources that I use in my paper. They talked about the Stoics, the Roman Stoics, who had a metaphor for us, which is perfectly in the middle of determinism and free will. And basically, they talked about, if you want to follow me with the camera, they talk about how we have a cart, and along with this cart is a dog. And we're the dog as the cart is life. So we have a leash, but a leash really only goes so far. So the dog has a little bit of leeway, but really will never be able to go the full length or the full ways that you would describe as free will. So honestly, I believe life is a mix of both, and to live comfortably, you need to just understand that you're not going to be able to go as far as you want. You're never going to get everything that you want, but you just have to make the best of what's in front of you. And whether life's predetermined or not, everything's just going to be okay. So, yeah. So I wanted to find free will for you guys. Free will is basically the thought that the power or capacity to choose among alternatives or to act in certain situations independently of natural, social, or divine restraints is yours. Which, as I said, I don't completely believe, but on the other side, I don't completely believe the definition of determinism either, which is the belief that all events are caused by past events, such that nothing other than what does occur could occur. So I will say that I do believe indefinitely our thoughts and our consciousness are free to us, and we can't always act on those things. Whatever we do will happen, but you could think of a million different things, and it'll always be in your head, and that's always going to be free to you. Another viewpoint that I've heard is illusionism, which is something that philosopher Saul Smilansky talked about, and what he said was determinism is basically an idea that is too hard for people who believe free will to take in, so they'll immediately reject it, and if they do believe it, then they're going to end up losing motivation. They're going to have a lack of willingness to actually continue to live their lives, which I think is really an over-exaggeration, as we should be able, as just simply humans and people, we should be able to build our own morale and create a focus on moving forward in life as we continue to look at the past and see honestly how life can continue, how life can go, and how things might move forward. All in all, this is a question that we've been trying to answer for a long time, whether we have actual free will or not. And I'd rather just agree with the Stoics at this point and live my life to the fullest. So I'm not really going to worry about it anymore, and that's the conclusion that I've come to in this paper, because on one side, free will is just encouraging the same kind of ideas that Manifest Destiny did, and look what that did for people. I mean, yes, we have America today, but look at all the people who were affected so badly by Manifest Destiny, and then on, again, meritocracy, which is just really a myth. And on the other side, determinism, it does promote a little bit of lack of motivation, lack of praise to people who have actually done well in their lives, and just lack of holding people accountable in general. So, I just think we should be able to understand our surroundings and understand ourselves without any kind of filter on life, and understand that everything's gonna be okay, man. See you later, student class, 2019, 122.